If you're thinking of moving to Pittsburgh, I'd like to provide you with my perspective on a few things that you should know. I was actually born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I have lived in a variety of neighborhoods. You'll find that we have a great blend of single-family homes, multifamily duplexes, triplexes, and even fourplexes. We've got condos, townhouses, apartments, lofts. So whether you want to live within the city limits or in many of the suburban neighborhoods or even the very rural areas, there are plenty of options. And while many homes in these areas, especially within the city limits, may be over 100 years old, there are many areas within the city that are going through major revitalization with new condos and lofts and new shops. And there's also continued construction throughout the suburbs as well. Pittsburgh has always been known to the locals as the Steel City or the City of Bridges or the City of Champions. But we are also known for a world-class center for medicine, technology, education, and the arts. We have Google, PNC Bank, Highmark Insurance, Carnegie Mellon University, University of Pittsburgh. The great thing is there's something here for everyone. Whether you're traveling to the city from the east or the west, you'll need to go through a tunnel, unless of course you know the alternate routes. We always joke that drivers on the highways leading into the tunnels don't realize that the lanes are the same width outside the tunnel as they are inside the tunnel. I'm sure you could just imagine the amount of traffic, 1 to 2 miles, and sometimes even more outside the tunnels during rush hour and on most weekends. The South Hills offers commuters the ability to ride the T, and the North Hills commuters can carpool using the HOV lanes into the city. We have cobblestone roads, really steep streets, which make winter parking and stopping a challenge. With over 400 bridges, you can certainly count on crossing over several on your daily commute. And once you move to Pittsburgh, you better learn how to make the Pittsburgh left as soon as the traffic light turns from red to green. Yes, even though the oncoming driver has the right of way, then they're going straight, you can always expect that a Pittsburgh driver will quickly make that left-hand turn in front of you. One of the things that I have always said I love the most about Pittsburgh is that we are a city that has all 4 seasons every year. Well, actually, many times all 4 seasons in a single day, depending on what time of the year it is. Between October and April, you can expect one day to be a beautifully sunny 75 degrees, and then the next day could be snowing with horrible road conditions, and then the next day could be 75 degrees again. In the middle of January or February, we can experience weeks of below freezing temperature and then a string of gorgeous 60-degree weather, followed by a deep freeze with with snow shortly thereafter. And then come the potholes. If you think navigating the hills and the tunnels is an experience or a challenge, wait till you try navigating around the potholes. Between May and September, temperatures rise and bring with it the dreaded humidity. If you're Italian like me, you're gonna hate that time of the year because it brings along that frizzy hair. Even though we go through what seems to be a never-ending rainy spring each year, we do have a great frequency of sunny days, which helps encourage everyone to get out and explore the parks and trails and everything else that we have to offer. Just know that it's very common in this area, though, to experience water in your basement. And you'll see that many, if not most, homes in the area will have a dehumidifier or a sump pump in the basement or a French drain around the perimeter of the exterior and sometimes the interior of a home. Make sure to seek our help regarding floodplain areas and whether or not flood insurance is required. Many of the municipalities have done extensive work over the past 20 years or so to reduce the risk of flooding. They've improved the topography and dug deeper in the streams and require dye tests in many areas before the sale of a property to make sure that downspouts are not draining into the public sewer systems. Lastly, on seasons, during peak summer months, expect hot and humid days to the point of being uncomfortable from the second you walk out that door in the morning. But overall, Pittsburgh experiences those extreme cold or severe hot conditions on a limited number of days throughout the year and not for extended periods of time like you would see elsewhere. And we certainly don't experience hurricanes or tsunamis. If you're moving to Pittsburgh, I would suggest you do some research if you're not already familiar with our sports teams. Pittsburgh is a die-hard black and gold sports town. It's very rare to find a non-Pittsburgh sports fan in the burg. Whether it's the 6-time Super Bowl champion Steelers, the 5-time 5-time Stanley Cup champion Penguins and the 5-time World Series Pirates. We love them all. So you better jump on the bandwagon. These are hardcore sports fans that have a following in many other areas of the country, and they can easily be spotted with their black and gold terrible towels. We've got some great sports stadiums and arenas, which are also often used for major events and concerts. Both the Steelers and the Penguins have waiting lists that are years long for season tickets. We don't have a pro basketball team, but there are some good college rivalries with a great mix of Pitt and Penn State fans. Pittsburgh has also made it easy to travel to the games from all areas, whether you take the T from the South Hills, the incline from Mount Washington, the HOV lanes from the North Hills, one of the Gateway Clipper commuter boats from Station Square, mass transit from the West Hills. Ultimately, there are lots of options on parking to get to the sporting events. Moving on to parks and recreation, Point State Park is located at the tip of the Golden Triangle in the heart of the city, and it brings together the three rivers, the Allegheny, Ohio, and Monongahela. Point Park was actually built on the remains of Fort Pitt and Fort Duquesne, located along two of the most traveled bridges in the area. If you're looking for a great view of the city, the rivers, Mount Washington, or a place to read a book, take a walk, ride a bike, or get engaged, you can't go wrong with the Point. Lots of activities, concerts, and a great place to view the annual fireworks. You'll also see plenty of boaters, kayakers, canoers along the rivers. I would also recommend checking out one of the 6 boats in the Gateway Clipper fleet. They offer great dinner cruises, sightseeing cruises, casino nights, and a lot more. As you travel along the rivers, you'll see plenty of places to rent kayaks or canoes or dock your boat. The closest real beach is in Erie, which is about 2.5 hours from the city. There's lots of other state and municipal parks in and around Pittsburgh that offer swimming, tennis, basketball, recreation centers, outdoor activities, shelters, skating rinks, camps for kids. As an avid bicyclist, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the many bike trails that the city has to offer. Old railroad tracks have been converted all over the area to bicycling and walking trails. The trails offer fantastic views, whether they're along the river, over bridges, through some of our many state and municipal parks. Throughout the city, it's very common to see one of the traffic lanes have been designated as a bicycle lane for commuters. Along the Heritage Trail, there are lots of areas to rent bikes in 30-minute intervals, and there's ample parking along the way for many access points as well. And as I mentioned in my pros and cons video, make sure to check out Bicycle Heaven. It's the world's largest transportation museum dedicated to bicycles. It's located near the Heritage Trail along the Pittsburgh's north side in the Ohio River. There's thousands of bikes on display. It's free. You got to check it out. Wrapping up recreation, as I mentioned in my previous videos, Pittsburgh has so much to offer, from golf courses to skiing an hour away from the city. We also have a skating rink in the heart of the city in the winter, of course. Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium, Andy Warhol Museum, Carnegie Museum, Children's Museum, Carnegie Science Center, Kennywood Park, Casino, the Strip District, Convention Center. There's so much more to offer. I could go on, but you just got to check it out. And last, but certainly not least, Pittsburgh has so many restaurants, whether you're dining in the city or in the suburbs. You never have to travel far to find a great place to dine out. But ultimately, you can't pass up the iconic Primanti Brothers restaurant, where you'll experience fantastic sandwiches with the French fries and coleslaw on the famous local thick Mancini's Italian bread. Primanti's throughout the years have continued to open locations not only within the city limits and stadiums, but they're also opening up locations in the suburbs as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Diane McConaughey with RE/MAX Select Realty, and I'm always available to answer any question that you may have about real estate or moving to Pittsburgh. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on moving to or living in Pittsburgh. I'll see you on the next video.